Okay, this YouTube video consists of me putting 30 some videos together from a certain time frame. I don't know, it's been a while, of repainting this bumper, what I did, what parts I had to order, back order, problems, all the gamut. I painted it myself. I'm not the greatest painter, and hot Indiana humid weather caused some other challenges, but yeah, this is what the video consists of. I'll try to edit it so it's understandable, and you can relate or use information for your repairs, if it would be paint or just taking the bumper off to get to the washers or lights or whatever. Good luck. All right, I got an investigation. I'm going to sand this with a 600, see what happens. Just practice, just going through it today. I've sanded before. I'm not the best at it, but anyway, I'm gonna sand it with a polisher, Gyros polisher with a 600 grit. See what happens. Again, I'm just gonna do this area first, and this is probably one of my last part of my car project, other than a little bit in the back bumper, which hopefully should be easier. Anyway, I taped it up a little bit, got a sheet iron, then laid a towel, a blanket on top just to hold it down. It's a little bit windy today, and my wax in the car is pretty slick. The tape's not holding on very good, so probably needed to do some alcohol around it. But anyway, first try, probably 15 minutes. Just see what. All right, so if you look, obviously clear coat, base coat, I would assume primer, and this is the bumper, and it's getting there. It's I've used like two 600 grits, and I'll just swap them out. I'll probably wash them out and reuse them again, but right here there's a little bit of fill. Nothing here. Feels really good. Oh, I feel a little divot there. A lot, like I said, a lot there. The bumper's pretty hot, so I'm letting it cool off a little bit. Feel stuff there. Obviously, it's just clicking off or flipping off. But and I did a little bit up here, right here. Other than right here, feels really. Oh, right there. This doesn't feel good. So there's just a lot of work to do. That's the thing with body work. People don't understand the work. When people do body work, or painting, it's all the stuff getting it ready to paint. The painting, well, I'm not a pro, and it's really not easy. To them it is. The painting part, I think, is the easiest part for them. Because it's got to be, because this part is time consuming, and I don't like it. And but I'm not paying somebody, I don't know, $900 to $3,000 grand or $3,000 to do this, so I'm gonna do it, and it's probably cost me a couple $100 and a loads of time. I haven't bought paint in a while, but I don't need that much to paint here, and I already have clear. So I think this is the third video. I'm not going to count anymore after this. It's the third pad. So basically I'll wash those pads, and hopefully I can use them again. I'm gonna look into what grit should I be using. 600 is not the I guess, what's it called, coarsest one you could use, but it allows me some grace, because I'm not very good at this. But anyways, I can feel nothing here, so that's good. Maybe a little dirty there, but sir, right there I feel something. There. So panel's pretty hot right there. Feel something. Almost wondered if I should use maybe a little bumper Bondo, maybe here, just to, we'll see. All right. I don't see. Oops. I see a washer there. I don't see a washer there. Yeah. 2 or 3. Driver's side. So it looks like we got one here, here, here. one there, and looks to be one there, and one there. All right, let's see what size. Oops, definitely 10 here, and I'm assuming that's an 8. All right, looks like there's Phillips screws holding that in. Green socket, I don't know what that is. Is it green? Yeah, I think it's green. Anyway, that one's one piece. Literally can't believe Porsche used staples to put this inner seam that goes on the bumper, the front bumper. Crazy. This little piece here inside that groove right there. Actually, like held it placed down, I guess. All right, I did a paint a primer. On these sawhorses, I made a stand. Basically, this wood just sits in there. It has some gripping hands, and then I put a T up there. You see, and it did very well. I mean, it's not designed to hold weight, too much weight, but it did all right. The only problem I'm having right now is I'm not super happy with that. Everything else, from what I can see, looks pretty good. Of course, there's little specks here and there, but this is all going to be sanded before base coat goes down. And there's a little, looks like grass there. All in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Might have to go, like I said, I don't know. I got to look into what I'm going to do with that, so I don't know if I can sand it down and then respray that again. So real quick note, I use this dry guide coat. You can use wet guide coat as well, which is basically black spray paint, the way I look at it, but this is just a black powder, and after you do a primer, you can tell the difference of the contrast of the colors when you put the black powder down, and you can figure out the highs and lows. I love this stuff. You can use it supposedly on wood, which is my kryptonite, and paint, which is what I used it for. For another layer, I don't know yet. Anyways, first round is done. All right, just got done completing my paint job. 4 coats of clear. Looks pretty sharp. Don't see a little bit of maybe a hair right there. And my biggest challenge has been to try to get some paint on the louver area, or what do you call the fin, shark fin area. But I am super stoked. Had to wait all day to get this because it rained. Rained today, and the humidity was just like 95%. Got it down to that. That's no big deal. Those are clear coat bubbles. Those can be buffed out. No problem at all. But that, to be honest, that's all. If that's all the clear coat bubbles I've got, I'm happy. But 4 coats, like I said, 15-minute intervals, about 24 psi. And I used, I'll show what paint I used. I used these seahorses, and then I used this board here, the width of that, I don't know what it is anymore. And it basically tees off up there and holds it up in the air. So these actually just force fit in there. It works out perfect. I'm really happy. A little bit of orange peel, but it still is drying. I'm gonna get out of here. It's 10 o'clock at night. My wife probably not the most happiest. Got to get some of the parts back and then wrap it up for the evening and then clean up tomorrow. Looks like there's fireworks going on. Cheers. Hi guys, so I'm looking at, with this light on it, I'm looking at some orange peel. I'm really curious, so I'm gonna try to use this new tool I got. It's called it's a denim pad. It's a 3-inch denim pad. I didn't buy a big one, but I've never used a denim before, but I was gonna sand this puppy down, maybe 15-2-3 or 2 3,000 grit, but supposedly you can skip all that. Now I was supposed to sand this I think the data sheet said within 48 hours, and it's been more than that, maybe about 2 or 3 more days. We'll see what happens. I'm really curious, waiting for the tool to sand this with a denim. This is new to me, so I'm going to use the denim, and then I'm going to use the purple compound from 3M and see what happens. There may be a special compound you use with the denim, but I seen somebody using, a professional guy. I'm definitely not a professional painter, and he was using this compound. I used 3M, which I think everything he had was 3M, even his paint gun. So anyways, let's try this out. This bumper is not attached, it's just hanging there. Hoping that's good enough. I'm gonna raise this up so I don't burn anything. That's the one thing I'm most scared about, is I don't want to burn anything. Burning means where you get to an edge and then you take the paint off, and then I start swearing. So anyways, I want to see what I can do. This is my first trial. My understanding is get the pad wet with the fluid, the compound, and then work your way from there. But it's supposed to have that pretty wet for the first time go around, so definitely have that set up. And after that, it's minimal application of compound. But let's see what happens. Wish me luck. Hopefully you can see the orange peel. You can definitely kind of feel it here. This is where I'm going to be scared. Maybe scared is the wrong word, concerned to go too far. But what I'll do is I'll raise this up. I'm going to throw one of my Harbor Freight blankets down so it doesn't, or something, so it doesn't get everywhere. Which, you know, when you put a lot on the pad, it just flies everywhere. So anyway, wish me luck. Okay, so I've hit it with 2 and 3,000, and it's not as shiny as it was, which is fine. And I haven't done anything here. See what it looks like. So I still might need to sand, which I'm not saying that I don't, but I'm just playing around here. It looks like there's some dimples here that I don't know if you can see or not from the clear. But you know, this is just the first go around, and I might do a better job when it's, well, not might, I will do a better job when the bumper is actually attached. Right now I can't wax it. I think for at least a couple weeks or a month. I can't remember what the timeline you have to wait for when a full paint job is, but I know it's more than a few weeks. At least they'll let all the vapors escape. And anyways, let's try the other polishing pad and see what happens. All right, definitely not done, but I feel a lot better. The paint's a lot smoother. If you look, when it's closer up to here, there's some, I don't know, some pits, acne, but that can be remedied very easily. But where I spent a little bit more time here, I mean, it's glass. It has no wax on it. It's phenomenal. Color match, again, up in here you can see a little bit of the pits, but I can get that out. I'm going to try to tape it off and try to just give it a light sand. Like I said, there is 4 layers of clear on this. I feel pretty solid that I'm not going to go through, but not to jinx it, I'm going to be very careful. Just do a little bit at a time. Do a little bit of cleanup here, as I mentioned and was afraid I would just go everywhere. So I love compound all over a car. But anyway, I'm very happy. And the paint is matching a little bit better now than it was with it when it was just a freaking glazed donut. Kind of hard to see in this room, but it does. The more you're in the light, the more it matches than when you're not in the light. So the way the light's on the bumper versus the hood, it's a little different. This room has some shadows, but it looks good. Okay, using that denim pad, I created a burn. I jinxed myself right there. What I'm gonna try to do is use this applicator, some paint here and then do some clear as well. I've used this before. This is a fantastic tool. You fill it up with paint and then you just tap, 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 and you can control the paint. Not too happy with that denim pad. I don't know if I'll use it ever again. Maybe it was just me jinxing myself, but literally burned through that. The pad was wet. First time using it. It did do a good job, but yeah, I'm not happy. All right, so I've got my rivets just positioned in there right now, but this has like two parts, and I was trying to figure out how to place it in there. I got my rivet gun, got it at O'Reilly's. Was trying to get it at Ace, but for whatever reason they didn't have one at the time, even though their inventory said they had it. And O'Reilly's had one. Of course, they didn't have the rivets, so I had to go back to Ace and buy the rivets. And let's see, so the size of them are, if you couldn't read it, they're 1/8 diameter and I believe grip range as well. So 1/8 by 1/8, I guess you would say. And I know nothing about these machines. It took me a hot minute to figure out what I was doing wrong, but I tested it out on a box. Seems like it riveted pretty fine. But I wanted to at least give it a test trial first. So let's give this a whirl. I don't have 4 hands or 3 hands, so I'm gonna take the rivets out, at least on the one side, and rivet it in, and then we'll see how the results come out. All right, so as far as I can tell, look, the rivets came out okay. Let's look at to see if it swelled out on the other side. I think it did. It's hard to see. Focus a little better. Doesn't feel like it's moving. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, we're talking about holding in a fog light that's being pressed in by air, and it's just holding its position. I can't remember if I had bolts through there. Something I have to go through my notes, which is nothing, but I have these, so I'm guessing those go in there and they may go out that way. Yeah, so because it's going to hold the light in position, I would assume. I don't know. It's got one over there. I didn't take those out for obvious reasons, but anyway, I think that's it, and that'll hold the rivet in place too, which would be a real strong connection. All right, it may be obvious, maybe not, but yes, that does go in there. 8 and 10 millimeters. Did the 10 millimeter, or excuse me, 8 on the bottom, 10 on top. Okay, just to let you know, make sure you're installing it on that side. I put mine in backwards. Yeah, it was dumb. Anyways, it's a 50-50, and I've been off on everything today. So hopefully my luck turns out better, but make sure you install it this direction. The 10 millimeter still on top, and 8 millimeter nut is on the bottom block. Okay. I am putting in the new hose. I had to put on the hose because when I was disconnecting that, it just wouldn't come apart. So to get the actual bumper off at the time. So these are squeezed in, very hard to get right. Got the seat here kind of positioned just in case it falls down and scratches my new paint job. So what I would say is when you're putting this back on, quite sure this lays on top, these feed through here. There's a hole in the bumper, feeds through the wires and stuff. For the, I guess this would be your fog lights that come through here and through here, through this bumper frame for crash bumper frame, whatever they call it. But I think I'm in good shape. I'm gonna push it in, see what we get. Also want to mention the positioning of those tightening components need to be at the right spot. You'll never get the bumper on, or at least I had troubles in the past. The rubber stripping, it doesn't have much glue on it to keep it on, even though I cleaned the surface. So, but once it's against the car, it will stay. Porsche stapled them in from the factory. Anyway, I put a little bit of tape behind them, but once I push it in, I might have to massage some of the seals just in case they popped out. And that just means up and down. There's actually a if you look here, there's a place that lays on. So this side goes on pretty good. This side I might have to adjust a little bit, just a hair, and then start tightening it down. I think I'm ready. I wanted to say it's been a hot minute since I've taken this apart, this fog light, or put it back together. So you have a ground wire here that goes to this one. Quite sure that's correct. It just seems logical in the lengths of the wires. And then you have your light bulb, fluorescent light bulb here, and then this one here connect to here. And like I said, they're the same length. Also, if you're smart enough, like I was doing mine upside down, so if you notice, this side goes in more and that side doesn't, so you don't want to have these upside down. That's because they won't go in. And also there is a Bosch label on it, so if the Bosch label's up, I think you're in good shape. If it's upside down, you may have it in the wrong position. Just Mr. Obvious here, but connect that and then you should be able to go in. I think I have to rock it in between here, put that in there, and then start putting in the screws. All right, thanks. All right, I'm wrapping up this bumper, and I'm putting on the nylon nuts. If you look, like that one and that one's fairly easy to get to, but there's another one. Let's see if I can show you. Maybe this way. That one. It's that one. And the best to do is get an 8mm wrench, lay on your back, go inside the fender, not over, and use a wrench, the flexible wrench, and it'll save you an hour of time if you have that. Also ratcheting, it's a must. But yeah, get a ratcheting flex head 8mm, or you can get one with a shorter arm. That would be fine as well. But that helped tremendously. Make sure you are installing that bracket hanger there so the light doesn't hit. I turned the light on and then turned the ignition off so I could get to at least that last bolt that I was talking about. And it just makes the job a lot easier. So again, I put that on. You barely can see it. Maybe I go from the other side. Put that on the back of the fog light, or the turn signal lens, to make sure it doesn't catch the light when it comes back down. All right, hopefully this video turned out. I wanted to quickly show the studs and the locking nylon washers, but you have one here, 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 and then another video I'll show you in here. And also right there, you have a wire anchor that you definitely want to install. I just real quick, I thought about this. So when I was removing my bumper, I thought that it was a must to get that nylon washer for the sprayer head off to be able to get the bumper off. But there should be enough length to open it up and pull it, maybe 2 or 3 inches from the top side to where you can do some work as well, because obviously you got to install it and push it back in. So I made a lot of extra work trying to get that nozzle head out that sprays the headlights. So you, again, just leave that on, loosen all these bolts, and then pull it out, and you'll have some room to play with. I mean, the cord that I was trying to save, The washer cord is pretty cheap. I think I bought a new one on the other side because it just wouldn't release, and I think it was like $10. So from Roger 928. So there's no reason, just cut them and put new ones on. I put the longest one. There's two different sides. There's a short one, a long one. I replaced the long side, but the short side looked fine. So anyways, right, just so you know, I'm putting in the splash shield here. I installed some, they call it sponge window foam. It's very thick stuff, and just layered a little bit, and it's going, I just need to install it better here, put the screws in, but it's definitely the right size now. And it's pretty expensive stuff. They sell it at like I said, I think I said Ace, and this was the thickest I could find for a sponge. They had thicker stuff that was foam, but the sponge just seemed to be a better quality and more water resistant. So better than what I think was on there before. The other was like a foam. And anyways, there we go. On the passenger side, there is a 10mm there, a 10 there, and then the standard Porsche, I would guess a stud coming out, and then a plastic nut. That's literally on new Cayennes and Porsches today, so it seems like that's something they just do. Don't know why. And then we got 8mm, 8mm, and then I talked about in the previous video about putting this in, and then we got 8, 8, and 8 there, which was from the previous install. So this overlaps that. I originally thought it was the other way around, but was wrong. Quite sure, also because of the dirt and stuff. I figured out that it would be overlaid like that, plus the way the studs go through. All right, try to wipe it down, clean it up, but as best I can without breaking it, because this plastic is pretty fragile. But surprisingly enough, this stuff's still pretty good. But gave it some a black shine again, and see if could make it look a little better. Anyway, cheers. Putting the new ducting on, I'm going to try and just put this piece on first. The sensor, I guess, senses the air from the alternator. So anyways, I'm just installing this first. You'll see when you're installing this silliness thing, this plate, this gets in the way. It's pretty tight, and I bought a new one because of the ducting, because the other one was just not very flexible. I'll include the part number that I bought on Amazon. It's a silicone slash wire, steel ribbed, so it should last a lot longer possibly than this one. It's more like a hardened cloth. It's hard to twist and turn. This one's a little bit more flexible, not much, but a hair more. But this is what, 4 years old, and that's new. So anyways, there we go. All right, wrapped up putting the guard on, or excuse me, the shield. So this is a 2-layer. You put on this one first, and then you put on the other one, the inside liner. I had to, I bought a new silicone brake line, and wrapping up the final stainless steel screws. I lost a couple, so I had to go buy some at the store. I'm gonna have to clean up some of this wax that blew over, a polishing compound. Still got to work a little bit on the bumper, but it's ready to be dropped, and I have to put the other wheel on. And all right, that concludes all that I've done to the bumper. I still have a little bit of polishing to do to brighten up some of the bottom side and prep it for when I do wax it. So still a little work there, but it's attached. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It was rather long, probably fast through some of it, but at least you can use some parts of this to help whatever work you're doing on your car. Good luck. Happy DIY. As always, please subscribe.